The sky over Ardna was quiet when the first ships appeared. People were going about their daily lives, unaware that the calm would not last. Then the sky darkened, and thousands of shapes moved like shadows across the sun. Commander Lena stood on the bridge of the flagship Aurora, staring at the endless line of alien vessels. She felt her chest tighten, but she did not panic. "Commander, we are counting 9,900 ships entering the system," said Raffi, the young tactician, his voice steady despite the fear in the room. Lena's eyes widened. She had prepared for attacks, but no one had imagined this many ships at once. "Activate shields and alert all fleets," Lena ordered. Her voice was calm, but firm. Every officer on the bridge knew that panic could be worse than fear. Milo, the fleet pilot, adjusted his console. He would soon lead the first reconnaissance flight. The aliens, known as the KRYNS, moved in perfect formation. Their ships were larger than any human craft and glowed with strange energy. They did not communicate in any way humans understood. Their approach was silent, but deadly. Lena called a meeting with the Fleet Council. Scientists, engineers, and pilots crowded around the holographic map of the solar system. Terra, the chief engineer, pointed at the alien ships. "Commander, their engines run on an unknown energy source. Our scans cannot fully penetrate it. But they are fast and precise. If they attack all at once, most of our fleet will be destroyed before we can respond." Lena nodded. "We cannot let fear control us. Our first priority is civilians. We evacuate the main cities and protect as many lives as we can. Second, we study the enemy. There has to be a weakness." Raffi moved closer. "Commander, I have been analyzing their formation. They are moving in a pattern, not randomly. If we can predict it, we may create a small gap to escape or attack strategically." Lena's heart lifted slightly. Even in this dire situation, human intelligence could make a difference. "Prepare a small fleet for reconnaissance. Milo, you will lead it. Terra, keep scanning. I want every piece of data on these ships. Our survival depends on knowledge, not just weapons." The fleet prepared. Civilians boarded transport ships and fled toward safe zones. Pilots suited up and ran systems checks. Lena walked through the corridors of the Aurora, watching her crew work. Fear was visible on every face, but so was determination. Humanity refused to die without a fight. Milo's reconnaissance team left first. The small group of ships darted forward, weaving through asteroids and abandoned satellites. They observed the KRYNS closely. Every time a human ship moved, the aliens reacted almost instantly. The KRYNS precision was frightening, but Milo remained calm. Suddenly, one of the scouts detected a small fluctuation in the KRYNS shield patterns. Milo reported it immediately. "Commander, there is a small gap in their defenses. It is brief, but it exists." Terra's eyes widened as she examined the data. "If we can time it right, we can get closer and study their engines. That may give us a chance to fight back effectively." Lena felt a rush of hope. "Then that is our next move. Prepare the Aurora and the strike ships. We will not charge blindly, but we will gather information and fight smartly. Humanity will survive this attack, even if it costs every ship in our fleet." Meanwhile, on the planets below, people watched the sky. Children clung to their parents, and leaders issued calm instructions. Communication channels were flooded with messages, but for the first time, many humans realized that the universe was not empty. They were not alone. And the others were far more advanced than they had ever imagined. The KRYNS ships stopped briefly at the edge of the inner solar system. Their glowing hulls reflected the light of Ardna's sun, making them appear even more enormous. Lena looked at the map again, studying every line and movement. "They are waiting for something," Raffi said. "I do not know what, but we cannot wait either." If we hesitate, we may lose everything. Lena clenched her fists. She knew the next hours would decide the fate of millions. Prepare every ship for battle. But remember, intelligence is our greatest weapon. Observation, strategy, and courage will keep us alive. Humans may be outnumbered, but we are never outsmarted. As the sun set over Ardna, the first shots of the invasion had not yet been fired. But in the hearts of humans and the crew of the Aurora, a fire was burning. Humanity would face the KRYNS, and they would not go quietly. The invasion had begun, but the fight for survival had only just started. The silence of space shattered as the first human fleet approached the KRYNS outer perimeter. Lena stood on the Aurora's bridge, watching the glowing shapes of thousands of enemy ships spread across the stars. Her hands rested lightly on the console, steadying herself for what was coming. "Commander, they are detecting our fleet," reported Raffi. "Their movements are changing. They are preparing to attack." Lena nodded. "Hold formation. We are not going in blindly. Milo, keep your pilots ready. Terra, maintain scanning. We need every detail about them." The human ships advanced carefully, weaving between asteroids and debris. The KRYNS ships responded instantly, launching small strike crafts and energy pulses. Explosions lit the dark space as the first human vessels were torn apart. Smoke and debris floated in the void. Milo gritted his teeth. "They are fast, but we can match their maneuvers. Stick to formation and use the terrain. Don't let fear take over." The human fleet's strategy relied on speed, coordination, and intelligence. Each ship moved in precise patterns, avoiding the alien energy blasts. Even when their numbers were small, humans were determined to survive. Suddenly, a small drone detached from a KRYNS ship. It hovered for a moment, scanning the human vessels. Terra's eyes widened at the readings. "Commander, that drone has a shield pattern different from the main ships. If we capture it, we could learn their technology." Lena acted quickly. "Milo, take a squad and intercept the drone. Do not destroy it. Bring it back if you can." Milo's team sped forward, weaving through alien fire. One of the human ships darted alongside the drone, using an energy net to trap it. The drone struggled for a moment before shutting down. Milo reported, "Drone captured." Heading back to the Aurora, Terra immediately began analyzing the alien device. "Their shields are powered by an energy core. There is a brief cycle where the energy drops. We could use this to our advantage if we plan carefully." Meanwhile, the rest of the fleet faced the KRYNS' relentless assault. Ships were destroyed, and alarms rang throughout the Aurora. Lena moved calmly among her officers, issuing commands and boosting morale. "Focus on survival and observation. Every action we take must count." One of the pilots, young and nervous, reported, "Commander, our left flank is exposed. The KRYNS are surrounding us." Lena's mind raced. She could not allow the fleet to be trapped. "Raffi, calculate a maneuver through the asteroid field to break their formation. Milo, guide the ships. Terra, prepare electronic countermeasures to disrupt their sensors." The human fleet moved as one, weaving through narrow passages between asteroids. The KRYNS fired relentlessly, but the humans' knowledge of their environment gave them an edge. Ships dodged and twisted, avoiding death at every turn. As they emerged from the asteroid field, Lena smiled slightly. The fleet had survived the first encounter. Casualties were heavy, but the humans had learned something important. The KRYNS were not invincible. Observation and strategy could give humans a fighting chance. Terra held the captured drone in her hands. "Commander, if we modify this technology, we could create a way to penetrate the KRYNS shields. This is our first real advantage." Raffi nodded. "And we now know their attack patterns. We can predict their moves and plan our next strikes. Lena looked out at the stars. The KRYNS ships still filled the sky, but the humans had survived. Prepare the fleet for return to the base. We need to repair and regroup. But remember, today we proved something important. Humanity may be small in number, but we are not weak. We adapt, we learn, and we fight. As the surviving ships returned, civilians on the planets below watched the flashes in the sky. Many had never seen battle in space before. Panic mixed with awe as they realized their defenders were facing impossible odds and surviving. Milo and Tara stood together on the Aurora's deck. Milo said quietly, "I did not think we could make it through that. But we did. Somehow, we did." Tara smiled, her hands still glowing with the drone's analysis. "It is not luck, Milo. It is our mind, our teamwork, and our courage. That is what makes us human. That is why we will survive." Lena addressed her crew, her voice calm and strong. "The KRYNS are powerful, but we have shown them something they did not expect. Humanity fights with courage, intelligence, and hope. Today we survived the first contact, and tomorrow we will strike again, smarter and stronger." The stars above Ardna were filled with alien light, but humanity's flame had not been extinguished. The Aurora and the surviving fleet sailed back through the void, battered but alive, ready to prepare for the battles yet to come. The invasion had begun, but humanity's heart was unbroken. The humans returned to their base battered but not broken. Lena walked through the corridors of the Aurora, her boots echoing on the metal floor. She saw tired pilots, engineers, and officers, all working quickly to repair ships and analyze the KRYNS technology. The fleet had survived, but they could not remain on the defensive. Raffi approached her with a holographic map. "Commander, I have studied the KRYNS movements from the last engagement. Their supply lines are stretched thin, and their reinforcements are not yet fully organized. We have a chance to strike strategically." Lena nodded. "Prepare a strike team. We will not attack blindly. Our goal is not to destroy every ship but to hit their supply lines. If we cut their resources, we force them to retreat or slow down." Tara brought over the captured drone. "Commander, I have analyzed its energy systems. If we modify our ship's weapons to exploit the weak points in the KRYNS shields, we can hit them without risking the whole fleet." Lena smiled. "Good work, Tara. Milo, gather your best pilots. We will need precision and speed. Every ship must know its role. The enemy is strong, but we are smarter." The human fleet assembled quietly, 50 ships in total. Smaller than the KRYNS armada, but fast and clever. Lena briefed them, her voice steady. "We will approach their supply lines using asteroid fields and gravitational slingshots. Avoid their main fleet. Focus on speed, surprise, and accuracy. Every move matters." Milo led the pilots as they left the base. The silence of space was heavy, broken only by the hum of engines. Each pilot felt the weight of responsibility. Lives depended on their success. The KRYNS supply lines appeared ahead, massive transport ships moving in formation. Lena signaled the attack. Human ships split into groups, each assigned to a specific target. Precision and timing were critical. As they approached, the KRYNS sensors detected movement. Warning signals flashed, and the aliens launched defensive drones. Milo's pilots dodged with skill, weaving through fire and debris. Explosions erupted around them, but humans moved with speed and intelligence. Tara's modifications to the weapons worked perfectly. Energy beams pierced the KRYNS shields at weak points, damaging the supply ships without exposing human vessels to direct attack. Raffi directed movements from the Aurora, calculating enemy positions and guiding pilots to safety. The humans struck with precision. Several KRYNS supply carriers exploded, sending debris spinning through space. The aliens faltered, forced to retreat some of their escort ships to protect their remaining vessels. Humanity had struck a blow, not by numbers, but by strategy and intelligence. Even in the chaos, Lena maintained control. Focus on targets and keep moving. Do not let fear control you. We can survive this. The KRYNS adapted quickly, but the humans had already predicted their changes. The fleet moved through asteroid fields, using the terrain to confuse and trap the enemy. Milo and his pilots executed maneuvers that seemed impossible, narrowly avoiding destruction while keeping their targets in sight. After the attack, the humans regrouped behind the outer asteroid belt. Their ships bore scratches and minor damage, but the victory was undeniable. Lena looked at the holographic map. The KRYNS supply lines had been severely damaged, slowing their advance. Raffi spoke, excitement in his voice. Commander, the KRYNS did not expect this. They are retreating to reorganize. We have gained the initiative. Terra smiled. And we learned more about their shields and energy systems. We can refine our weapons further for the next strike. Lena felt pride in her team. They had faced overwhelming odds and used intelligence, teamwork, and courage to achieve something remarkable. We are outnumbered, but not outsmarted. Every time we fight, we learn. Every time we survive, we grow stronger. Humanity will not be defeated by numbers alone. As the fleet returned to base, civilians on Ardna watched the flashes of distant explosions in the sky. Hope returned to many hearts. Even in the face of nearly 10,000 alien ships, humans had proved they could fight back. In the Aurora's command room, Milo, Terra, and Raffi discussed the next steps. This is just the beginning, Milo said. If we keep thinking ahead, using our brains as much as our weapons, we can survive this invasion. Terra nodded. And maybe, just maybe, we can show the KRYNS that humans are not weak. We are strong, clever, and brave. Lena looked out at the stars. The KRYNS ship still moved through the system, but the humans had sent a message. Humanity could not be underestimated. Their courage, intelligence, and determination had turned the first encounter into a victory of strategy over sheer force. The fight was far from over, but the humans had proven something important. They could survive. They could strike back. And they could inspire hope in a universe that had once seemed dark and hopeless. The human fleet had returned to base after their first counterattack. For a moment, there was relief. Ships were repaired, data was analyzed, and hope stirred among the crew. But Lena knew that victory could not make them careless. Survival depended not only on skill and courage but on trust. Terra and Raffi worked in the Aurora's lab, examining the KRYNS technology. Commander, we have learned a lot, Terra said. Their shield systems can be exploited further, and their energy cycles are predictable. But we need complete unity in the fleet. One mistake could cost all of us. Lena nodded. Agreed. We will train, coordinate, and watch each other closely. Every crew member must act as one. Humanity's strength is in teamwork. But not everyone in the fleet felt the same. Some officers were terrified by the numbers of KRYNS outside the system. One of them, Captain Vorn, believed surrender might save lives. He had quietly begun sending messages to the KRYNS, offering information about human positions. Vorn thought he could protect some of the population by betraying the fleet. Raffi noticed strange anomalies in the communication logs. Commander, there are encrypted signals leaving the Aurora. I do not know the source, but they match the KRYNS technology. Someone is leaking information. Lena's eyes narrowed. Find the source. Quietly. We cannot act hastily and create panic. Raffi worked with Terra to trace the transmissions. After hours of careful analysis, they discovered the truth. Captain Vorn was the traitor. Lena summoned him to the bridge. Vorn entered, calm but tense. Captain Vorn, Lena said, her voice steady, you have sent messages to the KRYNS. Why? Vorn looked down. I wanted to protect lives. If we resist, most of the fleet will die. If I help them, maybe some people will survive. Lena shook her head. Betrayal is not protection. Humanity survives through courage, intelligence, and unity. You risked everything for a false hope. You endangered millions. Raffi and Tara watched silently as Lena continued. We cannot allow fear to destroy our fleet from within. You will be detained, and your actions will be investigated fully. But we will handle this without unnecessary loss of life. Vorn was taken to the secure area of the Aurora. The fleet had been tested, but Lena's decisive action restored order. Trust was fragile, but it could be protected with careful leadership. The betrayal had left the fleet shaken, but also more determined. Milo gathered the pilots in the hangar. We cannot let fear divide us, he said. We face a powerful enemy outside, and now we know there are dangers inside. We survive together or not at all. Today we prove we can trust each other, and tomorrow we fight stronger. Lena walked among the crew, speaking with engineers, pilots, and officers. She encouraged them to focus on the mission ahead. The KRYNS are powerful, but they are not invincible. Our strength lies in our minds and in our hearts. Fear may exist, but courage must guide us. Intelligence and unity will keep us alive. Meanwhile, Tara studied the captured KRYNS drone further. Commander, if we refine our technology, we can give each ship small systems to predict KRYNS attacks. This will make betrayal useless because every move will be visible to the fleet. We can trust each other through technology and strategy. Lena smiled slightly. Good. Prepare it immediately. Every advantage counts. Humanity cannot afford mistakes, inside or outside our fleet. As night fell on the planets below, civilians looked up at the sky. Many sensed the tension in the fleet but were unaware of the betrayal. They relied on the humans in space to protect them. And the humans did not fail. Milo, Raffi, and Tara sat together in the Aurora's observation deck. We almost lost trust in each other, Milo said. That could have been worse than the KRYNS. Raffi nodded. Yes. But we learned an important lesson. We must rely on brains, courage, and each other. No one acts alone, and no one is above the fleet. Tara added, and our technology now ensures that every action is monitored. The KRYNS may be outside, but we are stronger inside. Human teamwork and intelligence are unbeatable. Lena looked at her crew with pride. The KRYNS may have 10,000 ships. They may be strong and relentless. But they cannot break what makes humans human. Our courage, our mind, and our unity are our greatest weapons. Today we survived a betrayal. Tomorrow we strike back. And we will win. The fleet rested that night, but their minds were active. Plans for the next strike were forming, and every crew member knew their role. Humanity had survived an enemy outside and fear within. The battle for Ardna continued, but the human spirit remained unbroken. The human fleet gathered quietly near the edge of the Ardna system. Lena stood on the bridge of the Aurora, looking at the stars and the distant glow of the KRYNS fleet. This was the moment they had been preparing for. A small but elite force of 50 human ships would strike at the heart of the invasion, the KRYNS command ship. Raffi pointed to the holographic map. Commander, their command ship is heavily defended, but it relies on a predictable energy shield cycle. If we time our attack right, we can breach their defenses. Tara worked quickly, modifying weapons to exploit the weak points in the KRYNS shields. Our beams will hit exactly where they need to. Timing is critical, and every pilot must follow the plan. Milo gathered the pilots in the hangar. This is more than survival. This is our chance to show the KRYNS that humans are not weak. Stick to your roles, trust each other, and act with courage. We will succeed together. The fleet moved out, silent and swift. They used asteroid fields to hide their approach and gravitational slingshots to increase speed. Each pilot knew the risks, but their training and unity gave them confidence. As they neared the KRYNS command ship, warning signals flashed across the consoles. The aliens had detected something unusual. Drones and smaller fighters swarmed to intercept the humans. Stay in formation and use the decoys, Lena ordered. Do not break ranks. Every move is calculated. The human ships split into groups, each taking a precise path to distract the KRYNS while the main strike force approached the command ship. Explosions erupted in space as drones were destroyed or misled. The humans moved with coordination that no machine could predict. Terra's weapon modifications worked perfectly. Energy beams struck the command ship at its weak points. Shields flickered, and the massive alien vessel shuddered under the attack. Lena's heart raced. This was the moment that could change the battle. Raffi calculated the next sequence. Commander, the energy cycle is resetting in 3 seconds. Prepare for the second strike. Milo and his pilots pushed forward, weaving between enemy fire. The human ships were precise, hitting every target without exposing themselves unnecessarily. The command ship's hull cracked under the pressure. Sparks and energy bursts lit the dark space. For the first time, the KRYNS hesitated. Their formation wavered. It was clear that they had not expected humans to fight with such intelligence and coordination. Lena knew this was the opening. Focus all fire on the core, she ordered. This is our chance to end the threat at its center. The human fleet unleashed a concentrated attack on the KRYNS command core. The energy beams found their mark, striking the ship's weak points simultaneously. A massive explosion shook space as the command ship disintegrated. Pieces of metal and energy fragments drifted outward. The KRYNS fleet faltered, retreating in disarray. Humans had not destroyed them all, but they had broken their central command. Without leadership, the remaining alien ships would struggle to regroup. Lena exhaled, relief and pride filling her chest. We did it. The KRYNS will retreat. Humanity has shown them that courage, intelligence, and teamwork are stronger than numbers. Raffi and Terra stood by her side. Commander, the captured drone data and your strategy made this possible, Terra said. We used our minds as our strongest weapon. Milo added, and the pilots executed perfectly. Every person here contributed. Today, humans proved they can overcome impossible odds. The surviving human ships regrouped and began returning to base. Each vessel bore scratches and minor damage, but all were alive. 17 of the fleet's original ships had survived the campaign, and each one carried stories of bravery, cleverness, and unity. On the planets below, civilians watched the sky with wonder. Many had feared that humanity would be destroyed. Now they saw that even a small force, using intelligence and courage, could defeat a far superior enemy. Hope returned to their hearts. Lena addressed her crew. This is only the beginning. The KRYNS may return, but today we have learned something important. Humanity is never outsmarted. We can face overwhelming odds and survive. Courage, intelligence, and unity are our true weapons. As the fleet moved through space, Milo, Terra, and Raffi discussed what they had learned. The KRYNS rely on numbers and precision, Milo said. But they cannot predict human creativity and adaptability. That is why we survived. Terra added, and now we can refine our technology further. We understand their shields, their energy, and their tactics. We are stronger for it. Raffi looked out at the stars. We survived the turning point, but we must remain vigilant. The KRYNS may come again, but humanity is ready. Together, we can face anything. Lena smiled, proud of her crew and her people. Humanity had taken the first decisive step in the war, and the light of courage and intelligence burned brighter than any alien fire. The KRYNS were not defeated. The destruction of their command ship had slowed them, but thousands of alien vessels still roamed the Ardna system. Lena knew that the remaining human fleet, only 17 ships strong, could not face them in open battle. Survival meant escape and clever strategy. "Commander, sensors show the KRYNS regrouping for another strike," Raffi reported. "They are moving faster than we anticipated. We need a plan to get out safely." Lena stood on the Aurora's bridge, staring at the approaching enemy ships. "We cannot outrun them by force," she said. "We must use the environment and our intelligence. Every asteroid, every abandoned station, every gravitational field can be a tool." Milo ran simulations on his console. "We can lead them through the outer asteroid belt and into the unstable star system nearby. The gravitational forces there could scatter their fleet." Terra nodded. "I can modify our systems to handle the turbulence. Our ships can survive where the KRYNS will struggle." The fleet moved cautiously, weaving between asteroids. Every ship followed precise instructions. One wrong move could mean destruction. Civilians had been evacuated to hidden stations, and now humanity's hope rested entirely on these 17 ships. As the KRYNS pursuit intensified, Lena ordered the fleet to split into smaller groups. "Scatter, but maintain communication. Use decoys to confuse them. Our strength is our speed and our strategy, not firepower." Milo led the forward group, darting through tight asteroid corridors. KRYNS ships fired relentlessly, but the humans anticipated their movements. Raffi's calculations guided each maneuver. Every turn, every dodge, was a carefully planned step toward safety. Terra monitored energy levels and shields. "Commander, we can maintain this for another 30 minutes. After that, we must reach the star system or risk being caught." The humans pushed forward. Explosions erupted as the KRYNS collided with asteroids or missed their targets. Despite the chaos, no human ship was lost. Every pilot acted with skill and courage, trusting Lena's leadership and Raffi's guidance. In the unstable star system, gravity twisted and tugged at the ships. Lena instructed careful navigation. "We must use these forces to our advantage. Draw the KRYNS in, and the environment will help us." The human fleet entered the star system, using gravitational slingshots to increase speed and scatter the pursuing KRYNS. The massive alien ships struggled with the forces, colliding with asteroids and each other. Explosions lit the void, and the humans moved through the chaos unharmed. Milo's voice crackled over the comms. "We are clear of the first wave. Keep moving. The KRYNS are still following, but they are slowed and disorganized." Terra smiled at the readings. "Our modifications are working perfectly. The ships are stable, and shields are holding. Humanity may be outnumbered, but we are proving we can survive anything." Raffi added, "If we keep predicting their moves and using the environment, we can lose them entirely. Strategy is on our side." The fleet moved steadily toward a hidden sector near Ardna. Lena contacted the civilians in secret stations. "Stay calm. The fleet is on its way. We will protect you and return stronger." Humanity does not give up. Even with exhaustion weighing on them, every pilot and crew member remained focused. Each maneuver through the asteroid belt and star system required perfect timing. The humans used intelligence, courage, and unity to outsmart a far stronger enemy. Finally, the KRYNS gave up pursuit, realizing that the humans were too clever to catch easily. The 17 ships regrouped in the hidden sector. Relief washed over the crews. They had survived the impossible, escaping with lives and hope intact. Lena addressed her team. "Today we faced overwhelming odds and survived. Not because we were stronger, but because we were smart, courageous, and united. Humanity will continue to fight, and we will grow stronger from every challenge. Milo looked out at the stars, smiling. We survived. Against 10,000 ships, 17 remained. That is something no one can forget. Terra added, and we learned more. Every move, every tactic, every calculation brings us closer to victory. Humanity adapts, and we never surrender. Raffi nodded. The KRYNS may return, but now we are ready. We know their weaknesses, and we know our strengths. The future belongs to those who can think, act, and survive. As the fleet rested in the hidden sector, repairing and preparing for the next engagement, Lena knew that the fight was far from over. But humanity had proven its greatest strength: courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most overwhelming force. The 17 ships, battered but alive, were a symbol of human determination. Ardna and its people were safe for now. But the humans had sent a clear message to the KRYNS. Underestimate them at your own peril. The 17 surviving human ships moved cautiously through the hidden sector. Lena stood on the bridge of the Aurora, her hands resting lightly on the console. The KRYNS were still in the Ardna system, but their command ship had been destroyed. The remaining alien forces were scattered and disorganized. Commander, the KRYNS are regrouping near the outer planets, Raffi reported. They may attempt a final attack to eliminate us. Lena's eyes narrowed. We will not wait for them to strike first. We will face them with strategy and courage. Humanity does not surrender. Terra examined the fleet's systems. We can coordinate every ship and use our technology to predict their moves. Every energy shield, every weapon system, every maneuver will work together. We have the advantage of intelligence. Milo stood beside Lena. We are small in number, but we are precise. We can hit their fleet where it hurts most. The human fleet moved out, emerging from the hidden sector into open space. The KRYNS ships appeared on the horizon, massive and threatening. But the humans did not panic. They had survived against impossible odds before, and today would be no different. Lena divided the fleet into groups. Each had a specific role: some would distract the KRYNS, others would attack weak points in their formation, and a few would target the remaining command signals. Coordination was key. Every pilot knew their part and trusted each other completely. As the KRYNS advanced, the humans executed their plan. Decoys drew enemy fire, while the main strike ships moved with precision. Energy beams targeted the weak points Terra had calculated. Each attack was timed perfectly, exploiting the KRYNS energy cycles. Explosions rocked space as the aliens' formation began to crumble. Their large ships collided, trying to adjust under the humans' clever maneuvers. 17 ships against thousands, but strategy and intelligence were more powerful than numbers. Raffi guided the fleet from the Aurora. Focus fire on their remaining command channels. If we disrupt communication, the KRYNS will lose coordination entirely. The human ships moved as one, weaving between fire and debris. Every move was calculated, every action precise. The KRYNS ships faltered under the pressure. They had never faced an enemy so small but so clever. Milo shouted over the comms. Now, everyone. Concentrate all fire. Energy beams struck the remaining alien command structures simultaneously. The KRYNS ships staggered, unable to adjust to the precision of human attacks. One by one, their vessels were disabled, leaving only scattered stragglers. The humans pressed their advantage, guiding each ship safely while keeping the KRYNS disorganized. Civilians on Ardna watched as the stars flashed with energy. Hope and awe spread across their hearts. Humanity, small and outnumbered, was prevailing. Finally, the last KRYNS ships turned away, retreating into deep space. Their assault had failed. The humans had survived, fought intelligently, and struck decisively. 17 ships remained, but they carried the pride and spirit of all humanity. Lena addressed the fleet. Today, we faced overwhelming odds and survived. Today, humanity showed that courage, intelligence, and unity are stronger than fear and force. Our people, our ships, and our minds have proven that no enemy is unbeatable. Terra smiled. We learned, adapted, and acted as one. Every calculation, every move, every act of bravery counted. Humanity has shown its strength. Milo added, 17 ships survived out of thousands, but every single one mattered. Every pilot, every engineer, every crew member contributed to victory. This is humanity's triumph. Raffi looked at the stars, thoughtful. The KRYNS may return someday. But they will remember today. They will know that humans cannot be underestimated. We think, we adapt, and we survive. That is our greatest weapon. On the planets below, people cheered. They knew that their defenders had faced impossible odds and lived. Humanity had shown that even against superior technology and overwhelming numbers, courage, intelligence, and unity could prevail. Lena stood on the Aurora's observation deck, looking at her fleet. We survived because we were human. We did not rely on sheer power alone. We relied on our minds, our hearts, and each other. That is what makes humanity unstoppable. Milo, Terra, and Raffi joined her. Together, they watched the stars, knowing the KRYNS had been driven away, at least for now. Humanity had survived, and the people of Ardna could rebuild, stronger and wiser than before. The 17 ships sailed through space, a symbol of human courage and determination. Against all odds, they had won. And in the quiet moments, among the stars, the humans knew something profound. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but never outsmarted. The invasion had begun with 9,900 ships. Only 17 human ships survived. And those 17 carried the future of humanity, ready to face whatever challenges awaited in the vast, infinite universe.